So let's question some things here. I need to get your feedback on routine. Is routine something that you see as good? Do you see it as bad? Do you see both sides of that? When routine is good, maybe it's for a job. Maybe you're learning the system, so you'll have structure. You can walk in and know what to do without having to ask, what do I do now? What do I do now? You can become self-motivated. You can look very competent when you understand what you're doing. And those mindsets, even though you leave that job at some point, you are able to reorient yourself. Use these sort of mind frames as a way of orientation. So that's when routine can be good. When can it be bad for you? Do you feel like you're limited in the way you live your life? Do you feel like you're limited by society? Do you feel like you're limited by your circumstances, the state you live in, the city you live in, the route you drive to go to work or visit your friends or your family or go to the library or go to the bar? Do they become habits? What happens if you just switch one thing up? What if you switch up the route that you take to work? Does that do anything for you? Are you more stimulated? Do you feel fresh? Are you challenging yourself once you become, structurally established, once you understand the structure and have that to guide yourself or reorient yourself? Can you take that and challenge yourself somewhere else? For example, if you go to a bar, are you slowly conforming to the way others are feeling, the way they're behaving there, the communication style? Do you feel excited when you're going to the same spot time after time? Are you aware of sort of what your perception is or what your perspective is of how you function there? Would you be able to watch yourself if somebody made like a Truman style show, if there were hidden cameras everywhere and they highlighted your behaviors and just how you have adapted to that environment? Would it be something positive like, well, I learned how to navigate and function and have a good time there? Whether it's karaoke night or it's talking to random people or playing the bar games, shooting pool. What else do they have? Dancing. Do you get good at those things and then move on to a new bar? Or do you say, this is easy, I know everybody, I can sort of establish myself here socially, I can cling to a hierarchy or a ranking system or pecking order? Or is it fresh stimulation for you to go to a new bar and say, I'm going to kick ass at this karaoke here? When does routine become about your comfort zone? And I'm sure it has something to do with different life stages also. There might become a point where you don't really care where you're at, either because of a relationship that you entered into or some part of you is more developed than it used to be in terms of, there's all kinds of mental variables and development combinations that can affect this. But are you aware of your routines? How many of them do you need? And how many of them do you just control yourself with? How free are you from your own mind and your own routines? If you do try something different, let me know how that works out. Did you eat simply just to try something else at the restaurant? Did you go to a whole new restaurant? Did you take a new way to get to work? Did you job shadow somebody? What are you doing differently? And what did you learn?